Welcome back to Amazons. We are still discussing the wedding day, both for the bride and the bridegroom. What should be the comportment? What should be the composure? How should the bride and the groom celebrate their special occasion? We are going to be talking to the reverend and the mom. What is the position of religion in today's wedding planning, celebration, and during the process of wedding? I have the honor to introduce the Presto Presbyter Methodist Church of the Trinity, Reverend Stephen Adegbite. We also have
You're very welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for being our guest.
Thank you, sir.
Nice to have you. Welcome, sir.
And also joining us is the General Secretary, Islamic Reflection Trust, Malam Salawuddin Toyin.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Nice to have you here, sir.
Welcome to Amazon, sir. You're welcome. You see, when we have guests on the program, we get up, we hug the guests, we give them a kiss on the right cheek, a kiss on the left cheek. But because we have a reverend and a malam on the set, we know that a handshake will be enough. The same thing, that's my position on a wedding day. A wedding day is not an ordinary day, it's a special day. Therefore, you are at your best behavior. Welcome, sirs.
Thank you very much.
I'll start with you, Reverend Adegbite. The church and weddings, what are the set rules?
Thank you very much. The church and wedding is as old as man. God created man and woman in the Garden of Eden. And since that time, a man and a woman has been together. And the role of the church and also the setting that is expected is to give honor to whom honor is due. Your wedding day is the day of your joy. There are 3 significant days in your life. The day you are born, you are not there. What happened, you don't know anything. The second day is the day of your wedding, that you plan, you execute, and you see everything that happens on that day. The last day, of course, is the day you die. You don't know what happened. Whether you are buried in a bush, whether you are buried in the most beautiful cemetery, it's not your business. You have gone, and you have gone. And because of that, wedding is very important in the life of a man or a woman. So it is expected that you respect God and also give honor to yourself on your wedding day. You must adore yourself with the best you have, and you should be able to project to the world that you really know what you are doing as a child of God.
What you are doing as a child of God would mean that you come to the church in your veil, that
Yes.
you come to the church looking and giving honor to God and to self. What happens after the church? Because all this that you have said about the church actually takes place in the church.
Yes.
The bride comes in, soberly, with all humility. After the church, is the church also responsible for what happens outside of the church, even for that same wedding that took place in the church?
The only way where we can be responsible and also be part of that is during the counseling section. You'll have counseled the bride-to-be, and that, look, when you come to church, you are not expected to show any part of your body to the world. That you are contextualizing, you are saying you've imbibed a lot of culture from the outside world. No. Civilization does not remove from you that you are still African. And in Africa, a woman is so respected. A woman is expected to preserve her body. Even in the scripture, James says, look, whatever you adore yourself with, let it be inner beauty, and let that glory be to the Lord. And whatever you are doing is for your husband, not for anybody to see. Or a lot of people come to church, even the way they come to the altar, pastors are tempted because you are not blind. When they throw all their breasts and everything, you see everything. So as a man of God, and also as a congregation, it beholds on us to let them know what they should do. And what we have done in the church now is to get veils for any bride that will not listen to us. So when you come for that day, if you don't do what we have asked you to do, we are not saying you should not be in your best, but make sure you don't expose any part of your body to the pastors or to the world. And if you do, we provide you a veil that you cover yourself with. And if I don't like you, I will tell you, I will give you off color. Then you don't like it. Something you'll have been happy with, something that will have been the happiest day of your life, will now turn to another thing right from the beginning of the service. And because of that, a lot of our ladies are now saying, look, churches are now rejecting any type of dressing in the church. And after the church, we have little or no say. But when you go to reception, I'm not part of it. So whatever you now put on in your reception is your headache and the headache of your parents. But I've done my own in the church.
Okay, sir, if that's the case, that, you know, a woman should cover herself, she's not supposed to expose herself. Obviously, this is just to lay emphasis on the fact that, you know, as a woman, you should keep yourself till you get to your husband's home. Then why are churches marrying people who are pregnant? Because I've seen pregnant bride before wearing white, and they will still go to church and they will still get married.
Oh, beautiful. Let me explain this to you. In the church, we don't discriminate. There is what we call a marriage, that is solemnization of holy matrimony. And there is something we also call marriage blessing. If you are pregnant, you can have your marriage blessing in the church. And if you look at the order of service that we use for the two, they are different. But you, as a member of the congregation, you may not know, but the ministers knows that. And also another thing that you will see in a marriage blessing is that there will be no veil. There will be no bridal train. And you cannot, because already what we are covering, you and your husband have seen it. So we remove the veil, we remove bridal train, and we have a marriage blessing for you. And most often, we may not even bless the ring, because already you've given yourself the covenant we want to make. So that is the thing that you will see in such a service. But we will not say we are not going to marry you, but you are still a member of the church.
Malam Salahuddin, as regards to wedding, are you still sticking to that role of the bride, covering herself up from head to toe?
Thank you very much. The first impression I want to quickly correct, there's no strictness in Islam. There's only a modesty. The modesty is all about what every one of us values, morality. We're talking about dressing up. Dressing up even before marriage, during marriage, and after marriage. It's all about you should make yourself human and respectable. Attire is all about covering your nudity. And your nudity, you know, it differs from men now, from men to women. Because women, their nudity, virtually almost everything is their nudity. And that is why God has created them in such a way that they are attractive, they are glamorous, they are sweet. And I think we all know very well that if I see the breast of a woman, or the woman shows her breast, you know, it goes either way. We're all talking about excitement, stimulation. And that is exactly what Islam is trying to address. Fine, you are women. Because you are women, you are fine, and you must be fine. But to whom? Not for everybody. So, attire, about wedding, is all about what you've been doing. You must do it on that day too. And I want all to agree. I mean, I want us to reason along with me. What we are doing on wedding day is what we are going to be forever in our enclave as a micro-society that we take talking about family now. A presentation of whatever we are on that day shows and goes a long way to tell the world that this is the family. This is what we want to present to the world. Everything about our wedding should project that as a philosophy. Good outlook. Islam emphasizes so much beauty. And you must not compromise your beauty. You must take care of your beauty by all means in such a way that You take care of your beauty even in such a way that you must ensure that your husband see you beautiful all through. And on wedding day, do that beauty, hide it from the public. Keep the beauty in the home. That is all about what Islam is saying. Today, as you ask, I know curiosity to get the youth to come into the fold of religion has really affected the way we look at things. We bend. Some people are bending.
You compromise.
Compromising. But it is not a good dividend at the end of the day for the society. So I think what we should know, we should emphasize. We should emphasize that our wedding day, whether in the church or the mosque, our wedding day is the day we want to show to the world we are laying a foundation of a society, a micro society for the macro society. Like my brother here now, he has told us, the way you even mere seeing him, he say, this is pastor. And we know we want to respect. Anybody that sees him say, this is our pastor. Please, when you are treating others just anyhow, don't treat him like that. But if eventually we discover that our pastor is not pastor, we should not castigate all the pastors.
We will take another break. When we come back, the audience, these are young boys and girls in the studio. I'm sure they would one day get married. They have questions to ask the church and the mosque. And we will be talking about wedding day, what should be the comportment of the bride and the groom on that special day. After the break. Welcome back. We have Reverend Adegbite, the Proto-Presbyter Methodist Church of the Trinity, joining us on Amazon, and Malam Salawuddin Toyin, who is the General Secretary, Islamic Reflection Trust. We've been talking about a wedding day, what the bride should look like on her wedding day. And then we have our audience. I'm sure you are burning to ask questions. So who wants to? Yes, please.
Thank you. My name is Cynthia. I want to ask, is religion a philosophy? First. And secondly, I think the Bible does say that undefiled home is a good marriage. And thirdly, I knew when Mary was pregnant, she was being hidden from the Israelite, not to know that she was pregnant before the marriage. Now, Reverend, is it good for a lady to be pregnant before marriage?
Thank you very much. The first one is religion is more than a philosophy. Philosophy is abstract. Philosophy is thinking. But I say to you, little philosophy will take you away from God. But more philosophy will take you back to God. Because God is the all in all, and is the one that created whatever you want to philosophize. And that is why Number two, I like to correct the impression that Mary was hidden from the Israelites when he was pregnant so that they would not know. That is not correct. He was not hidden from the Israelites, but God decided to do that for his own family, and he was not known to Joseph. And that was why he wanted to separate from her secretly. That no, this is an anathema that has taken place. You know you shouldn't have done that. I don't know you. How can you now tell me you are pregnant? Because they've been betrothed to each other. So that was exactly what happened. But when God showed himself to Joseph, that look, what your wife is carrying is sacred, is holy, and it's from me, and you cannot leave her. Stay by her, and you will see what I will do. And eventually, Emmanuel was born, which means God. And of course, to your third question, that the marriage bed should be left undefiled, is still relevant. And that is what the scripture is standing by. Because you are expected to keep your virginity, which millions of girls have lost today in the world. And they must respect that. I tell you, if you have lost your virginity, you have lost your respect. And guys will tell you, I've gone on 10, I've gone on 20. What is the pride in that? you are exposing yourself to diseases and you are risking your life. And chances of dying young is very high. So a man must also keep himself, so that a lady must also keep herself. When you have your virginity, you have your respect. And you can boldly say to your husband, I am your wife. It is you that defile me. You have my virginity, you know about it. And you can walk high, you can walk tall. But once you have lost it, my friend, I met you as a basket. What's your problem? So, as a guy, I encourage young ladies, please keep yourself holy. And when you also do that, you are going to have spiritual strength for the task ahead. You know, the scripture says, have you seen a man diligent in his work? He will stand before kings, not before mean men. Even in the olden days, if you are to do some sacrifice, they will go for somebody that is a virgin, the Aruba that we watch. If you are not a virgin, if you do it, you will be in trouble. So that is what even African traditional religion can do. Talk less of God. But because we believe God is our boyfriend, girlfriend, we treat him anyhow because he won't come down. If not for that, even leaders in Nigeria should be going and disappear with here. But because God is faithful, he's merciful, that is why we have gone that far. But we must be careful.
Okay.
That's what about self-esteem? We need to encourage that.
Thank you, sir. I believe the position of Islam is the same as what Reverend Adigbite has told us. Or is there any difference?
I can't see much difference. I can't even see much difference, except that you have put difference. The difference between religion and the society. Both religions preach this. And that's why the multitude of the inhabitants of Nigeria landscape are either Muslims or Christians. If only we are faithful to our religion, automatically the society will be better off. We should not castigate religion per se. We should know that, like you said, everybody is responsible. But I want to hold leaders of this country and the structure of this country and the perception of the citizens of the country responsible for what we are going through now. Even the church has been subjected, so also the mosque, to the authority. The authority decides on the church and the mosque. So the authority now legislates values of morality for everybody, including the houses of God. And if that is the case, we should try as much as possible to raise leaders, to raise society. And the youth, I think, they are much more responsible now. If a generation is we are passing through a generation now, and the generation will see a lot of failure. What about the coming generation? Are they not worse off?
Yes, they are. Thank you.
So all of us must contribute to change.
We all have a responsibility. Yes. Thank you so very much, Reverend Adigbite. Thank you, Malam Salawuddin. Thank you, and we'll be right back.